For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
When you arrive in a country to contribute to it and to assimilate into its culture, you don't wave the flag of a foreign nation. That's when you do in triumph when you invade a country. According to Border Control, at least one member of the caravan has already admitted to being a member of MS-13. All of this should worry us. There are only a few hundred people in this caravan, but there are billions more around the world who live amid violence and poverty, and virtually every single one of them would like to relocate to San Diego. The left argues we have no moral right to stop any of them from doing that.
Since he tweeted his support for President Trump, liberals going insane. Now, on Monday morning, Twitter erupted after Kanye West posted a screenshot of a text exchange he had with a friend about Abraham Lincoln. Twitter was set ablaze after Kanye posted a screenshot of a text he had with a friend named Steve. However, the tweet has since been deleted. It said, quote, Abe Lincoln freed and protected the slaves, and he was Republican, Steve said to Kanye in a text message. Quote, Republicans were the ones who helped black people. Democrats protected the rights of the slave owners of the South, Steve continued. Kanye West replied, I'm going to tweet this. And Steve responded with the words, those are facts. And then Twitter erupted. Liberals started attacking Kanye West by pushing the big lie that the parties switched. But there never was a switch. The Democrats have continued to destroy the black community with welfare and Section 8 housing while telling them over and over again that they are the victims. Christine Teigen replying to Kanye, Kanye, whoa, okay, yeah, sure. Here's another one. Yeah, but the ideals of the party swapped in the 1950s. Come on, Ye. At least brush up on your U.S. history before tweeting this. The two parties basically switched views during the FDR presidency. Republicans voted in today are supported by the KKK. Wow. This is true. The parties didn't really switch. It's a big lie. The tactics has changed from using blacks for labor to using them for votes. This is the realest stuff I've ever wrote. We have another tweet here. Is there another one? What is this? Deplorable Melissa, Kanye, the Democratic Party is a party of slavery and KKK. That has not changed. Now they operate on stealth, mental slavery, keeping blacks suppressed through victimhood, poverty, and government dependency. You could also note that even after reps freed slaves, Democrats still fought against blacks by putting on white hoods, voting against civil rights and bringing America Jim Crow. Today, Democrats put on black hoods, Antifa, and brainwash minorities and enslave them to the welfare state. They're right here, an overweight, middle-aged rapper who goes by the name Daz Dillinger called on the Crips gang to attack and assault Kanye West over his recent support for President Trump. Dillinger, reportedly a member of rapper Snoop Dogg's entourage, took to Instagram in a since deleted video to wage that threat. Take a look.
A former member of Snoop Dogg's rapping entourage is calling for the Crips to attack Kanye West after his recent support for President Donald Trump. Crips is an infamous LA gang. Daz Dillinger, who recorded several successful hip-hop records as part of the Dog Pound duo in the 1990s, made the apparent threat in a video posted to his Instagram. In it, he says, quote, better not ever see you in concert, better not ever see you around the LBC, better not ever see you around California. The post has since been removed. Matt Uris for CBS LA.
So this is the kind of backlash one gets for being a free thinker and speaking the truth, speaking facts. Kanye, he may not be a true conservative in the, traditional sense, whatever that means, but just because he's willing to accept free speech and thought, everybody in the industry is trying to turn their backs on him. Now that is clear as hypocrisy. Some big breaking news on Capitol Hill. President Trump just did it. He put the entire Congress on notice. Swamp dwellers mortified. According to Christina Lalia for the Gateway Pundit, she reports that President Trump met with a group of bipartisan freshman lawmakers recently who feel very strongly in favor of, ready for this, congressional term limits. Yes, can you imagine if there are actual term limits in Congress? Trump tweeted his support for this effort and endorsed the lawmakers, swamp creatures like Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, John McCain, Maxine Waters, all of them. They've been in politics for decades. They have lost touch with their constituents and are beholden to lobbyists and other special interest groups that line their pockets. So how do these politicians become so wealthy on a relatively mediocre salary? This is the swamp that must be drained. Kick the swamp creatures out and prevent them from becoming lobbyists. This is just the latest example of Trump keeping one of his campaign promises. Take a look.
But there's another major announcement I'm going to make today as part of our pledge to drain the swamp. If I'm elected president, I will push for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. They've been talking about that for years. Decades of failure in Washington and decades of special interest dealing must and will come to an end. And remember, by the time this ends, I will have spent over $100 million on my campaign. Hillary spent nothing. She gets all her money from the special interests and donors. And my interest is you. My interest is you.
Now, earlier this week, President Trump blasted the swamp creatures in D.C. who make a career out of politics with this tweet. I recently had a terrific meeting with a bipartisan group of freshman lawmakers who feel very strongly in favor of congressional term limits. I gave them my full support and endorsement for their efforts. Trump supporters, of course, going wild. Take a look here. Term limits, please. MAGA means drain the swamp. Oh, yes. Yes, it does. We have more? Are there more tweets? Let me see here. Oh, yes, we've got another one. American citizens aren't financing a retirement home for corrupt politicians any longer. Finally, please, term limits now. We need to get some term limits so people like McCain and Schumer can't hang around for years screwing things up. Ain't that the truth?